A girl enters an elevator and vanishes forever. The security footage shows her pressing random buttons, hiding, and speaking to someone who isn't there. Weeks later, her body is found in a rooftop water tank. No alarms triggered. No signs of struggle. This isn't a horror movie. This really happened. We uncover the chilling mystery of Elisa Lam and the hotel that refuses to let go of its ghosts. The city of Los Angeles is a maze of light and loneliness. On February 19, 2013, a hotel maintenance worker climbed to the rooftop of the infamous Hotel Cecil, searching for the source of low water pressure complaints. He lifted the lid of one of the large water tanks and froze. Inside, floating face up, was a young woman. Her name was Elisa Lam, 21 years old, a student from Vancouver, Canada, a dreamer, a daughter, and now, the center of one of the strangest mysteries in modern true crime history. Elisa had arrived in Los Angeles alone in late January, hoping to explore, write, and clear her mind. She chronicled her journey on Tumblr, where she wrote with raw honesty about her battles with bipolar disorder, her loneliness, and her longing for meaning. She checked into the Hotel Cecil, an old, decaying landmark with a dark past, a place once nicknamed the Suicide Hotel. At first, Elisa's posts were light-hearted. She mentioned meeting new people, exploring bookstores, dreaming about her future. But something shifted. Her last post was strange. I'm tired of feeling like I'm walking in someone else's shadow. A few days later, she was gone. The elevator footage, now one of the most viral videos in internet history, would soon reveal Elisa's last known moments alive. But what it captured didn't make sense. February 1st, 2013. The surveillance camera on the fourth-floor elevator began recording at 10:57 p.m. The footage starts normally. Elisa walks in wearing a red hoodie and black shorts, her hair falling loosely across her shoulders. She leans forward and presses several buttons. Then, she steps back, and the doors don't close. Seconds pass. She peeks out into the hallway, quickly, nervously, then jumps back inside. Her hands move erratically as if she's hiding or talking to someone invisible. At one point, she stretches her fingers wide, twisting them in midair. Her gestures are oddly rhythmic, deliberate, almost as if she's communicating in code. The elevator doors remain open the entire time. Finally, Elisa steps out. She looks left, then right, then vanishes. Seconds later, the doors close and reopen again to an empty hallway. The internet exploded when the lap released a video. Millions of people watched, re-watched, slowed it down, reversed it, analyzed every frame. Some claimed the footage was edited, key moments missing. Others swore they saw a shadow move behind her, or a second pair of feet just outside the frame. Conspiracy theories spread like wildfire. Was Elisa being followed? Was she under the influence of drugs? Or was it something else, something unexplainable? Then came the chilling discovery. The elevator was near the water pipes that led to the rooftop tanks, the very tanks where her body would be found days later. And the most haunting detail of all, the rooftop was locked, alarmed, and only accessible to staff. So how did she get up there? To understand Elisa's disappearance, you have to understand the Hotel Cecil. Built in 1927, the hotel was once a symbol of Los Angeles glamour. But as the years passed, the area around it, Skid Row, descended into chaos and poverty. The hotel became a magnet for tragedy. In the 1930s alone, multiple guests took their own lives. In later decades, the hotel housed serial killers. Yes, actual serial killers. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, lived on the 14th floor in the 1980s during his reign of terror across California. He returned from his murders to wash his clothes in the hotel sink. Jack Unterweger, an Austrian serial killer, also stayed there in 1991, writing about crime while committing his own. Locals said the hotel was cursed, that it absorbed darkness, and that darkness never left. When Elisa checked in, the hotel was partially converted into a youth hostel called Stay on Main, sharing the same building, same elevators, same rooftop. She was placed in a shared room with other female travelers. But a few days into her stay, her roommates asked to be moved. They told staff Elisa was behaving oddly. No one knows what that means exactly. Some reports say she left notes on their beds telling them to go away. Others claim she would talk to herself late at night. Eventually, staff moved her to a private room. 2 days later, she vanished. The haunting question remains. Did the hotel's sinister energy consume her, or did something human do this? The lab launched a massive search. They brought in K-9 units, scoured every floor, even used helicopters. But there was no trace of Elisa. The only evidence, the elevator video. Weeks passed. Guests began to complain about foul-smelling water and low water pressure. One woman said the water came out dark for a few seconds before clearing. That led maintenance workers to the roof. That's when they found her. Elisa's body was floating naked, her clothes found at the bottom of the tank. The autopsy revealed no signs of physical assault, no drugs beyond a prescription medication, and no alcohol. The cause of death, accidental drowning. But how? The water tank's hatch was heavy and required a ladder to reach. Police claimed she might have climbed up using the maintenance platform, entered the tank herself, and then been unable to get out. But people who'd seen the rooftop disagreed. The climb was nearly impossible without triggering alarms. And yet, the alarms never went off. Investigators offered no explanation for the bizarre elevator footage. Her parents, devastated, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the hotel, but it was dismissed. They were told Elisa's death was a tragic accident. Nothing more. But people couldn't accept that. Online forums filled with alternative theories. A hotel employee might have been involved, or a stalker had followed her to Los Angeles. Something supernatural had drawn her to that rooftop. One theory even linked the case to a tuberculosis outbreak near Skid Row at the same time. The test used was called the LAM ELISA test. Coincidence or clue? No one could explain it. Years later, people still visit the Hotel Cecil, now renamed and rebranded, hoping to feel what Elisa felt, to find something everyone else missed. Some claim her spirit still lingers. Guests report hearing footsteps in empty halls, or seeing a red hoodie vanish around corners. The elevator sometimes stops on the 4th floor, with no one inside. But beyond the ghost stories lies something deeper, something human. Elisa was a young woman struggling with mental illness in an unfamiliar city. She wanted to experience life, to connect, to escape the heaviness inside her. Maybe her final hours were a tragic storm of confusion and fear. Maybe she thought she was being followed, or maybe she was. The unanswered questions keep us watching. Why did the elevator door stay open so long? Who edited the footage? How did she reach the rooftop without triggering alarms? And why was her body there for 19 days before being discovered? No one knows. But one truth remains undeniable. The story of Elisa Lam has become a mirror, reflecting our fascination with mystery, our fear of loneliness, and the fragile line between sanity and the unseen. As one internet user wrote years later, we watch the final moments not as voyeurs, but as people trying to understand how someone so alive could vanish so completely. Elisa Lam's story isn't just about death. It's about the unanswered cries we all carry inside, the things we hide in plain sight. The Hotel Cecil still stands in downtown Los Angeles. Its walls whisper secrets. Its elevators still move between shadows. And somewhere, between reality and legend, Elisa Lam is still waiting for her story to be understood. The night was silent over downtown Los Angeles. The Cecil Hotel stood like a tombstone against the city lights, its cracked windows catching the reflection of passing cars, its halls breathing the ghosts of 1,000 unsolved stories. For years, people had tried to move on. The case was closed. Elisa Lam's death was ruled accidental. The public had mourned, obsessed, and eventually moved to the next headline. But the building never forgot her. 10 years later, a travel vlogger named Samantha Cruz checked into what used to be the Cecil, now rebranded as a Stay on Main. She was 28, energetic, and chasing internet fame. She knew about the legend of Elisa Lam. Everyone did. But she thought revisiting it would make a perfect viral video, exploring the most haunted hotel in America. She filmed every moment. The flickering hallway lights, the worn-out elevator, the eerie hum of the pipes. Her followers filled the chat with ghost emojis and anxious comments. Try pressing the same buttons Elisa did. One viewer typed, "Stand exactly where she stood." Samantha smiled nervously at her phone camera and said, Okay, but if the door's closed, I'm running. She pressed the buttons, 4, 2, 6, 10, in the same sequence as the infamous video. The elevator groaned. The door stayed open. Her phone camera shook slightly. Weird, she whispered. Then she laughed it off, until she noticed a reflection. Behind her, just for a moment, a faint red sleeve in the corner of the frame. Later that night, Samantha returned to her room to edit the footage. She slowed the clip down, frame by frame, and there it was again. Not a shadow, not a glitch, a hand, rising slowly beside her, then disappearing when she turned. Her heart raced. She replayed it, again and again. When she looked up from her laptop, the air conditioner had stopped humming. The silence pressed in. Then, tap, 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 soft knocks on her door. She froze. Her live stream was still rolling. Thousands were watching. Who's there? She whispered. The comments exploded. We hear it too. Behind you. Don't open it. But curiosity, like it had for Elisa Lam, was stronger than fear. She opened the door. The hallway was empty, except for a single glass of water sitting on the floor. Her viewers begged her to stop filming, to check out, to leave. But Samantha, shaken but determined, wanted to see the rooftop, the same place where Elisa's body had been found. She slipped through the service door and climbed the narrow stairs to the roof. The night wind was cold and dry. Her flashlight cut through the dark, illuminating the 4 water tanks, silent, metallic, enormous. She approached the nearest one, her phone trembling in her hand. The chat was still scrolling fast. This is crazy. Don't do this. We love you, Sam. She pointed the camera toward the tank. Her reflection appeared on the surface, and next to it, another figure, a girl with long dark hair, standing too close, too still. Samantha gasped, spinning around, but no one was there. Her viewers thought it was an effect, a setup, a fake, until the live feed glitched, and her screen went black. The last sound recorded was her voice whispering, "She's here." Hotel staff found Samantha's phone wedged under the rooftop door. Her footage was corrupted, except for a single frame. Elisa Lam's face, frozen mid-smile, in the reflection of the elevator door. The police ruled Samantha's disappearance as undetermined. The internet exploded. Conspiracy forums revived overnight. Some said Elisa was reaching out. Others said the Cecil feeds on those who search for its truth. Detective Naomi Trent, now retired, had investigated Elisa's case 10 years earlier. When Samantha vanished, she was pulled back into the nightmare she thought she'd left behind. She walked through the corridors, peeling wallpaper, leaking pipes, the faint scent of mildew and memory. Every creak in the floorboards sounded like a whisper. Every flicker of the lights reminded her of the footage she couldn't unsee. She stopped at the elevator, the same one. The doors opened slowly, empty, except the floor buttons were already pressed, in the exact same pattern as before. Naomi whispered under her breath, "Not again." But she stepped inside. The doors closed. The elevator descended, even though she hadn't pressed lobby. When it opened, she was not on any floor listed in the hotel's blueprint, only a long, dimly lit corridor, and at the end, a single door slightly ajar. Inside was a wall covered in newspaper clippings, photographs, and drawings. At the center, 2 faces, Elisa Lam, Samantha Cruz, and below them, scribbled in red ink, Naomi's body was never found, but her audio recorder was recovered in the elevator shaft. Her last words were faint, almost drowned by static. "It's not haunted, it's hungry." Since then, guests have reported strange things. The elevator stopping on random floors, water turning red before running clear, and late at night, whispers through the pipes, as if someone is still trying to reach the surface. Every few months, new visitors arrive with cameras and curiosity. They all promise to uncover the truth. Some leave shaken, some don't leave at all. And the Hotel Cecil stands, waiting, as the city around it forgets. What if the story isn't over? What if this was only the beginning? Subscribe now, because next week, we're uncovering the truth they never wanted you to see. Stay curious. Stay brave, and remember, the truth always leaves a trail.